Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Martin from Damoosic, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to produce Level of Concern from the 21pilots. Enjoy! So yeah, the idea of this brief tutorial is to do a walkthrough of the production of this wonderful song, Level of Concern, which was co-produced by Panman of Mute Math, wonderful musician. So first of all, let's take a look at the final product so you can decide if it's worth it to stay till the end of the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and check my music. Let's take a listen, alright? Okay, so let's start. I've started directly on the first verse because the intro is basically the verse with a filter sweep over the drums, so it starts like this. Okay, so I'm using Ableton today, and let's focus on the first part, which be the drums. So the drum pattern is pretty straightforward. It's kick, snare, hi-hats, and straightforward here. So the only thing that is happening is a little filler at the end. So that's the pattern. What I usually do is I split that pattern into separate parts so I can mix them and work them together. So let's start with the kicks. Here, what I did for the kicks was layering, which is a very common practice on beat making. So that's the first kick. I've created it using Addictive drums and First Facts Volume 1. And then I've added the DS10 drum shaper, just in case it isn't doing much right here. So here's the kick. And I've layered a second kick, which is much more compressed. So the end result is the following. That's both kicks. This is the other sample. All right. So after that, for the snares, I did the same trick. So let's have a listen to the snares. These guys here. All right. So I've layered two snares. So the first one, again, Addictive drums, Fairfax. Let's take a listen. And the second one, it's a sample, so it's much more compressed and overdriven. So the end result is this, a much fuller sound. From my impressions from the original sound, I hardly think that Josh is playing the drums. I think it's a sample, but it's just a guess. All right, so let's keep moving. For the hi-hat, just super simple pattern. Just use Addictive drums. Okay, and then the open hi-hat and the claps. Again, Addictive drums. And for the claps, I've used little bit of delay, so it's more fun. So that could be the drums section. Then I've added some stuff for treating the drums. Drum bus, it's a very useful tool in Ableton Live to give more punch and energy to the drums. This is more like a mix thing, but I use the SSL G-Bass compressor to glue the mix a little bit, and some automation that we will go over after this. All right, so that will be the drums part.
I can't help but think I haven't felt this way since I asked you to.
Okay, so let's move on to the pads. Let's take a listen. So here I've layered different instruments. This is deactivated, but the first one could be this massive plug, massive from Contact, obviously. So basically is a massive patch and an envelope. Then I've cued it a little bit. I've added some retro color. So RC20, wonderful plugin. So let's hear with it and without it. And then I filter the sound. So this is without the filter. And this is with the filter. With this frequency you can modulate the signal. All right. After that, I've added another piano, which is kind of mimicking the sound of Tyler's voice. I'm producing here in the box, so I didn't have the voices. So sounds like this. Pretty straightforward line. This is a Scarbee Mark 1, so it's basically a Rhodes, and everything together sounds like this. Okay, so now let's move on to the bass. The bass line. This is in the context of the remake. It's super simple yet effective. So, C and A. So the bass line goes like this. Super simple. Tyler is very minimalistic when he's writing, but super effective. So what I've used is a Komplete Scarbee bass. Sounds wonderful. Okay, and also what I did was add this compressor here, which is side chained with the kicks. So a sidechain assigned to a compressor, what's telling the compressor is to make the signal duck when the kick hits. So the advantage of that is that since the bass and the kick are competing for low frequencies, you can have like a more wider and lively mix if you do these kinds of techniques. It's more like a mixing thing, but it's interesting. So after that, I've added this guy here when the verse is finishing. So this here, it's a whirly, which is a kind of Rhodes, and I've just used an Ableton preset of whirly. And after that, I've added this effect, which is the Decapitator. So all right, this is a kind of overdrive. Wonderful plugins by Soundtoys. So let's move to the next part, which is the guitars.
Or is this the way it ends? 'Cause I told you.
So there's like a funky rhythm guitar that enters in this part. I've layered different guitars. So the guitar part goes like this. So this is C major 7. So you have the root note here, and you have the major 7 here. It's the same as doing this guy here. And this chord is A minor 7. You have the 7th right here. So in the record is a guitar recorded with a wah-wah effect. What I did to simulate that, I did multiple takes. And first of all, I EQ'd a little bit the guitar, compressed. And then I filter it to emulate a wah-wah pedal. So here's with a filter, and here's without the filter. You have a pretty nice option where you can do this kind of triangular filters here in Ableton. After that, in the main bass, I use a Face Mistress, once again, from Soundtoys, wonderful plugins, so you can hear it without it, and enabled. So it's a phaser, and after that, again, EQing the sound. Here I did like a high pass to avoid these low frequencies that doesn't add a lot in the mix. Okay, these are the guitars. The chords are these. And now, moving on, we have a guitar arrangement here, which starts like this. Again, in the arrangement, I used a compressor, Pro Q, and then Transient Designer and another Q. That's another interesting plugin, which is a Panman, which helps you to pan the signal automatically. So that's with the effect, this is without the effect. Okay, so that's it for the first verse.
I told you your level of concern.
Okay, so let's move to the pre-chorus part. So what we hear is the same pattern on the pads and the guitars, but in this part, this drum pattern starts to fade out and gets filtered. So I've achieved that using an automation here. So pay close attention. So if you hit the letter A, you can see the automation here, and I have an auto filter from Ableton and an AQA that's automated to do that filter sweep. So let's watch it. Again, it turns on and filters the signal. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, so let's go to the first chorus, which is interesting because it's pretty minimal. Let's take a listen. This is very interesting because we usually as producers tend to always add stuff, and these guys, but they have chosen to remove stuff, so it's very interesting. So let's check the drums first. So these are filter drums. So if I remove the auto filter here, I have that. So basically it's filtering stuff as we did before. And here it's the piano part, which is very interesting. So let's check this guy here. All right. So I will solo this part. Nice chords. So this is how you play it on the piano. So it goes like this. It's E minor, first inversion, then C, then it goes to A minor, G, D. Again, E minor, C, A, G, D. Okay, going to the production standpoint, what I've used here, it's a piano from Arturia. Nice piano. And then I've EQ'd it and used reverb. So without the EQ and the reverb. Now I EQ'd it, so I filtered it a little bit. So let's take a listen. And after filtering the piano, I've added this Valhalla VintageVerb, which is amazing. And that's that like super, you know, far and melancholic vibe.
You could bring down my level of concern. Just need you to tell me.
Alright, so thank you very much for watching the tutorial. If you are interested in part 2, please let me know in the comment section. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and to check out my music at damoosic.com. If you guys are interested in another tutorials of 21pilots or another band's songs, please let me know. Alright, thank you very much. Stay safe. Bye bye.